Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Full Moon Fridays here on the Outpost Unknown YouTube channel. My name is Matthew. Joining me on this never-ending journey to watch everything Full Moon has ever put out, apparently, is Borp.
Hello, I'm here.
Yeah, you excited about this one? This wraps up.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah,
And the awesome conclusion
yeah.
to this amazing franchise.
And Steve.
Are you supposed to be playing something on your TV behind you because it's just a frozen image on the screen?
Oh, geez. You know what's really strange? Okay, so Puppet. This is a fine segue here for Puppet Master: The Legacy. So when I was watching Puppet Master: The Legacy on Tubi, I think it was last night. It froze on this exact same moment last night.
Huh.
And so it just spins. And then basically what I had to do, if I remember, I had to go back 30 seconds, hit play, and then it should freeze again on that exact same thing. And then I had to back out, restart it from that position to make it work. So we're going to test it. We're going to see if this exact same thing happens.
You know what? You need to test out some curtains on that window.
Look, I got blinds up there. I'm not putting curtains up there. No one needs to see me. So yes, folks, we are watching or talking about. We unfortunately watch Puppet Master: The Legacy to finish out. Okay. So it's something with Tubi. Now watch.
Just go advance it. Go like fast.
No, I tried. I tried that last night. It doesn't work. Now I backed out, and now I'm into it again. I hit resume play, and now it goes. Something with Tubi. If you watch Puppet Master Legacy, it'll freeze out that moment. So, folks, this is the advice I'm giving to you because I know you're all going to run out and watch Puppet Master Legacy after this episode. When it freezes on Tubi, you got to back out, hit resume play, and then you'll be good to go.
It's like a warning from Tubi. Are you sure?
Sure. Make good choices.
You really want to go any further with this movie.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Puppet Master Legacy, this wraps up. We have now officially seen every single Puppet Master movie that has so far been put out by Full Moon and Charles Band. This sort of wraps up everything. We'll talk about what this movie is, but Borp, I'll go to you first. We're rolling into the final Puppet Master movie. How are you feeling about wrapping up this franchise?
I feel very good about wrapping up this franchise. We've watched a lot of these movies. I'm done with puppets for a while. And going into this, I was expecting a cheap cash grab, and that's what I got. So look at that.
Oh, wow. No surprises from Mr. Charles Band. Steve, your thoughts? We started this journey, and now we're at the finish line. How are you feeling about finishing up Puppet Master?
I feel defeated. Like for a series that I claim to love, there sure is a lot of bullshit. It is, man. There's like maybe 3 good movies spread out amongst like the 15 that we watched.
Yeah. My thoughts going into this is thankfully it's over. Just like you, Borb, I'm kind of done with puppets right now. I just feel like there's so much trash throughout this entire franchise that I wouldn't say it killed my love of Puppet Master. I will still always have a special place in my heart for some of these movies. And I don't think all of them are terrible, but man, it's grueling just watching these all the way through and realizing all of the flaws and the problems with the series and how stupid so much of it is. So, but we're going to talk. I mean, we're going to recap it all, folks. Steve's going to go through like 15 installments or something in the span of a few minutes here. Puppet Master Legacy, Steve, what is this? Set this up.
So there's only like 10 minutes of new footage in this movie. And so the 2 new characters are an assassin woman named McLean, and then a man who I think he's going by Eric or Peter. Basically, he's the adult version of the little kid from Puppet Master 3. And so he has, this takes place after all of the other movies. He has found all of the puppets. He's hiding out in the Bodega Bay Inn, I believe. And
he's super old, by the way.
Yeah.
So, like, how many years in the future would this technically take place? Like are we still? I guess Puppet Master 3 took place back in the Nazi era, right?
So, yeah, he would be like in the 70s here.
Okay, that makes sense then. Because originally I was thinking, I was like, God damn, I was thinking the kid was in a more modern take, but
No,
my bad,
no.
wrong one.
So like the 70-year-old version of the kid from Puppet Master 3 has all the puppets now, and he's just kind of like hanging out in some workshop room in the Bodega Bay Inn. But we start with McClane, and McClane has like a big book, which I guess is like one of Toulon's diaries. And she has a phone call with someone, and she's like, "Hey, yes, I found the book. I'm going to look for the formula." And we get like a 10-second flashback of the first time Toulon saw a living puppet, which I think did that scene come from Puppet Master 2? So I don't think it was Puppet Master 1. So definitely it wasn't William Hickey or whatever his name is. I think it came from 2. Regardless, it's like kind of like a 40 or 50-year-old Toulon seeing a living puppet for the first time, and he's amazed by it. It's like 10 seconds, and then we cut back to McClane. She's like, "Nope, formula's not in this book. I got to go somewhere else." And we
Wasn't it retro? Weren't we looking at
Yeah,
retro Puppet Master?
I think it
well, no,
starts with retro.
there's not, but that's the point I was getting at. We get a scene of like an older Toulon with like dark black hair, which has got to be like he looks like he's like in his 40s or 50s, and he's looking at a living puppet. And the next flashback is all the scenes from Retro Puppet Master, which completely contradicts the scene that we just saw. Uh,
Okay.
I'm gonna look.
Okay.
I'm gonna look.
You're gonna look.
Continue.
So, anyways, after McClane fails to find the formula in this one book, she goes and finds Eric slash Peter at the workshop, and they just have this recurring back and forth where Eric or Peter or whatever the fuck his name is, I'm just gonna call him Peter, is like, no, Toulon was a good man and we need to defend him, and McClane is like, nope, Toulon sucked, he was a bad person, and so they each use different stories from different Puppet Master films to get their point across. And so Peter is like, no, Toulon was a good man. Let me tell you, or let's talk about the story of Retro Puppet Master. And so he pulls out a tape recorder with Toulon's like a narrated diary from Toulon. And so that leads into the flashback of Retro Puppet Master, which again completely contradicts the flashback that we just saw 2 minutes ago about when Toulon first saw living puppets. Uh, and so we get like a 10-minute recap of the entire events of Retro Puppet Master. Yeah, this is the scene here. Where is this from? That puppet is what we saw.
Well, I can't really see the screen.
Yeah, I
That's
think that would have been 2. That
All
would
right,
have
so-
been part 2.
All right, so it's a scene
Okay.
from part 2. So we see the
Alright.
scene from part 2 where Toulon sees a living puppet, and then we go into the recap of Retro Puppet Master, which completely contradicts that scene in part 2. And so we get the recap of Retro Puppet Master, and Peter's like, yeah, see, Toulon was a good person. And furthermore, he also fought the Nazis, and then he continues to play the tape. And we get, I timed it, 22 and a half minutes of Puppet Master 3 are in this movie. This movie is only 73 minutes long, so 31% of this film is just Puppet Master 3. It is fucking ridiculous. We get,
Charles Band
We got-
really must have
Yep.
liked Puppet Master 3.
and he should. It's the best one. It's like it's probably like part 3 and maybe the remake. It's like one of those two are the best one.
Mhm.
Anyway, so it's like so much of this movie is just Puppet Master 3. So you get a full 20 plus minute synopsis. The beginning of Puppet Master 3, you know, Toulon's putting on a puppet show. The Nazis kill Elsa. Toulon gets his revenge, and then Toulon gets on the train or flight or whatever to leave Nazi controlled territory. And that's it. And then Peter comes back and is like, yeah, I never saw Toulon again after that. Like, you know, we communicated by letters, but ultimately I lost touch with them. And then, you know, 70 years later, I decided to go hunt him down, which led me to the Bodega Bay Inn and his puppets. And, you know, here I am. I've got the puppets now, but I still don't know how to revive the puppets. I still have not learned the secret. And so McClane at one point just shoots Peter in the leg. And so Peter's screaming, and so again,
I like the first time she shoots the warning shot. There's no muzzle flash or anything. It's
well,
just
that
literally
would
a
have
sound
cost
effect.
too much money.
Yeah.
So again, the ongoing debate between these two is Eric says that Toulon was a good person, and McClane says no, they weren't. No, he wasn't. And so McClane's like, no, Toulon was a shitbag. Let's talk about the events of Puppet Master 2 and how Toulon instructed his puppets to.
Which I think is the best Puppet Master, by the way, too. I'm on McClane's side here. Toulon was an asshat.
Well, I mean, according to all the other movies, he was good more often than he was bad. Regardless, McClane's like, you're wrong about Toulon. Toulon was a terrible person. Let's talk about all the parapsychologists or whatever the hell those people were that he killed. And so we get like a full like recap of at least the death scenes of Puppet Master 2, including like the end of Puppet Master 2, where Toulon in his like mannequin body is like, oh yeah, it sucks for you puppets, you're gonna die now, but at least I get to have my wife back. That whole thing is recapped, and then Eric is like, no, no, no. What about that time that Toulon, after that point, somehow after that point where Toulon was clearly evil, Toulon's ghost went back to being a good guy, and he helped Rick Myers fight demons. So then we get a full recap of the events of Puppet Master 4 and 5. It takes like 10 minutes. And then McClane's like, I already know who Rick Meyer is. Who do you think I killed to get the book I was reading in the beginning? So at the end of Puppet Master
Twist.
5, Rick Myers is like, I know there will be further challenges. I know more evil will come after me, but I know I'm protected by the power of the Puppet Master. Turns out all it took was someone with a gun to kill him. So the hero of Puppet Master 4 and 5 is just dead now. He was executed off
Unceremoniously
screen.
killed
Yep.
off screen.
Killed
Yeah.
off screen to get the book that she was reading in the beginning. But then she goes back to, well, what about, the puppets themselves are a problem. It's not even necessarily Toulon. Toulon's a dickhead, but sometimes, the puppets, even the puppets themselves can be used for evil even when it's not Toulon. And so then they play another recording, Toulon's voice, that covers the events of Curse of Puppet Master. Now, if you're following along, you might know that at this point Toulon was dead as shit. But apparently his ghost came back. Toulon's ghost came back to record a narration describing the events of Curse of Puppet Master. And so we get the full rundown, the entire like 10-minute summary of Curse of Puppet Master, and at that point, it's time for the movie to end. Like the $500 budget ran out, and so I think maybe one of the puppets hits McClane. Eric grabs the gun and shoots McClane, and Eric's like, "Ha ha ha! You'll never control the puppets. You'll never get the formula. You'll never be able to use them for evil." And McClane's like, the big twist of the movie is McClane is like, well, I don't want to use them. I want to kill them. Like, who do you think my employer is? I'm not working for another person. I'm working for the immortals that Toulon left behind, implying that there are puppets that Toulon like resurrected and then just abandoned, and those puppets are looking for a way to die. And so these mysterious nebulous puppets out there have hired McClane to find a way to kill them, and she wanted she felt the need, I need to go track down Toulon's notes to find out how to permanently kill a puppet. According to Puppet Master 2, you just throw one in the furnace and that works just fine. But then she's like, congratulations on your legacy, and then she dies. And then Eric turns around and points the gun at the screen and pulls the trigger, and that's the end of the movie. We don't even get credits. We just get like an image on screen that says, thanks to all the Puppet Master fans over the years.
Couldn't even be bothered to credit the people in the new footage.
Jesus Christ.
What the fuck?
There's
Yep.
13 minutes of new footage in this movie, and the rest of it is stock footage. Someone on YouTube, some brave, beautiful bastard, if you're curious, just like did a fan edit of this movie, which has all of the
It's 13 minutes long. It's so hilarious that the fan edit of the film
the
is
fan
13
edit.
minutes.
The
Yeah.
fan edit is the new footage, and the only stock footage in it is what you need to know to understand the plot of the new 13 minutes of footage. And that's it. The fan edit is 13 minutes long, and I mean, I'm sure it's garbage because they're working with garbage, but it's probably better than the full movie. Wow.
Yeah,
Thoughts?
this is terrible. I mean, I remember at the time when I saw this, I was so like enraged by what what this was, because it gets to the sort of fundamental nature of Charles Band does not respect any of the people that supported him to get him to where he was. There is, yeah, okay, Curse of the Puppet Master kind of sucked. Plenty of the Puppet Master movies were kind of sucking, and all the other Full Moon movies were sucking. But the fans who sort of, came up with Full Moon, by and large, they stuck with him through those hard, dark times of no more Paramount money, right? No more big Hollywood studio bankrolling your stuff. And this just seemed so blatantly highway robbery of the fans that, I mean, there's nothing else to say. I mean, this is trash. Like, nobody should watch this. Nobody should support this. It's embarrassing is what it is.
I agree. I have a question. Do you guys remember how this was marketed? Like at the time, was this marketed as a clip show or as a new movie?
I don't remember, honestly.
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
remember really
I'm
any
gonna look up the
marketing.
wiki
My
and see what it says.
recollection is I went to the video store and I saw Puppet Master: The Legacy on there. I was like, oh, sweet,
Yeah.
a new Puppet Master movie.
Okay.
I don't have any specific recollections of how it was marketed, but
Yeah, but okay, you were at the video store. You picked up the copy, and you're like, "This is a new Puppet Master movie."
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
This wasn't like on the box like this is recycled footage. This is a clip. This was.
Oh no. I mean, I have no recollection of it. If it was on
Yeah,
the
yeah,
box, I didn't read it or I didn't see it. I just thought, oh, cool, new Puppet Master movie. Boom, let's pop it in. But yeah, I do distinctly remember being very angry after I watched it, because I was like, this is so. And what is I mean, clearly it was a cash grab. He was just trying to bilk or con, his fans out of money. It reminds me of like, he's ahead of the game. Like now in YouTube, right? There's all kinds of YouTubers out there who will just make fake crypto scams, get money from their
Yep.
viewers and stuff like that just to make some bucks. And that's what this feels like. But before YouTube, it was like Charles Band was a pioneer of being a crook and committing fraud in a way.
Yeah.
It's fraud in a sense, I mean, and so I think that, yeah, I hate this. This is clearly the worst of all the Puppet Master movies, in my opinion. I think there's nothing redeeming about this at all. I think the concept from the ground up was bullshit, fraud, and the execution of it's poor. He directed this. Charles Band directed this movie.
Like over a
So
weekend?
he takes all the blame for this movie. He's listed as the director of this thing. And so, fuck him. Charles, if you're listening, fuck you for Puppet Master Legacy, man. That is just, I mean, he should apologize. I don't know if he ever has. He should come out and issue a formal apology for this travesty of a film. It's awful.
So I found the box art for this movie, and I'll read what's on the back of it and how it's marketed.
Okay.
The eighth and strangest entry in Full Moon's venerable Puppet
Jesus.
Master franchise, Puppet Master: The Legacy, is a fascinating look at the mythology of the series, including a wealth of intense scenes from classic Puppet Master movies and an all-new framing story. So it admitted that
He said
it's using stock footage.
All right.
No part of this says that there's only 13 minutes of new footage.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, that would be the thing,
Yeah.
right? It's like,
Yeah.
okay, you're gonna, because at this time, by this point, Puppet Master fans, we expect a little recycled footage in the Puppet Master movies, flashbacks to things that happen, but they are not 23 minutes or however long of just a Puppet Master 3 put in. I mean, that's going beyond the pale. So, yeah, I mean, fuck this movie. What are your thoughts?
When they started the recap of Puppet Master Free, which I remember fairly fondly, we didn't watch it that long ago, so all these movies are fresh in my mind. But when they started with Puppet Master Free and they show like the beginning of Puppet Master Free, and then they keep going, and then they're like showing André Toulon with his wife, I'm like, oh, this is really going, huh? I picked up my Nintendo Switch and started playing that a little bit while Puppet Master 3 was playing in the background, and then saw some new footage, put it down, and then got into Curse of the Puppet Master, picked up my Nintendo Switch again. This is so okay. There's like this feeling I felt, and we've talked about a lot of this, so recycled content here, I guess, as well. Where like these movies just feel like cash grabs in like the worst possible way, and this is, I mean, it's perfect that we ended it with this one because this is like the one that felt the most like that. Where you're like, this is so barely a movie, and none of the okay. Here's the thing. Here's the thing that really got me, which like it's not even well edited together. Like
Yeah.
there's so much. It's so poorly edited. This is the whole thing with the entire fucking movie of like just stitching these stories together and trying to make something new out of it. Um, the framing doesn't even make a lot of sense. Like why we are seeing all of these. I fucking hated this.
Well, I don't even really. I mean, there's real no plot here, right? Other than this assassin shows up and is trying to get this guy to give a thing, but the entire point of its existence, aside from being a cash grab just to try to get as much money from the fans as he possibly could, but I would, if I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt, I'm gonna say, okay, Charles Band realized that the canon, the lore, the mythology of all of this stuff makes no fucking sense. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to do what essentially what the comics books did later on, right? When the fans are putting together all these stories, I'm going to try to take all of this different stuff, put it together, and make it like make it make sense as best as I
Right.
can. But in order to do that, you have to make an actual movie. You can't have 85% of your movie just be clips from other stuff you've taken, and then you just make this stupid bare bones sort of thing because it doesn't feel like there was any love or passion put into this. That's the thing. Like you could tell just by watching this that Charles Band did not care about trying to quote unquote fix the canon or the lore of this franchise. He did not care one iota about that. All he wanted to do was, I got to get something out quick. Bunch of people, I can sell this to video stores. It's a new Puppet Master movie. I can make a quick buck. Not even putting end credits on this thing.
Yeah.
Like seriously, it just, I mean, that's so disrespectful to the people who were in it, like in the
Maybe that
real
was by
footage, right?
request from them.
It could have been, for all I know, it could have been, but it's just one of those things where it's like, I don't know. Steve, your thoughts?
Well, I wanted to, if we like strain and try to give this movie a little bit of credit, it potentially answers a question we had about the Doctor Death standalone. We were like, Doctor Death was a good puppet. Like he's in his one appearance, he was a good guy puppet. Why is he suddenly like still around 100 years later and killing these innocent people? If this movie is to be trusted, it's potentially that a lot of Toulon puppets wind up immortal and are looking for a way to die and can't. So potentially this answers a question about the Doctor Death standalone. But yeah, this
Do you
is hot
think they had
garbage.
that in mind when they made
Absolutely
Doctor
not.
Death?
Absolutely fucking not. I don't think anyone that made Doctor Death remembers that Puppet Master: The Legacy exists. Um, but this movie is garbage. Uh, but I don't think it's my least favorite. I don't even know
Oh,
that I
okay.
think it's the
Okay.
worst. It's terrible, but like I accept it for what it is. I can accept that Charles Band had rent and utilities both come due on the same day, and he had to shit out a movie as fast as possible to get some cash, and he put this out. I can accept that this is just a shameless cash grab and move on. Uh, I still think that the Axis trilogy are the worst Puppet Master movies, especially that last one with all the psychics.
Mm.
Because that to me is like, that is Charles Band actually trying. That is what Charles Band thinks Puppet Master should be these
That's a
days.
good point.
And I don't know, that makes it worse to me. So this one's hot garbage. If we had to rank these, I would put this and all the Axis movies in like the lowest tier. Uh, but if you put a gun to my head and made me watch, and I had to pick one of the worst Puppet Master movies to watch, I probably would watch this one before I watched any of the other ones.
Okay.
I mean, there's 22 minutes of Puppet Master free in here.
Yeah, I
Pretty
can
good.
just
That's all right.
maybe
That's all right.
next time I want to watch Puppet Master 3, but I only like I'm on break at work. I'll just put on the middle part of Puppet Master: The Legacy.
I am with you that the I think that's the third one of the Axis trilogy, right?
Yeah,
That was the last one.
it's
I
the
think
one
that's
right
the
before
worst.
the Blade standalone.
Yeah.
Axis Termination. That one is terrible. That one I think is the worst. That was Charles Band saying, "This is what Puppet Master is now. This is what I think the fans want," and he's wrong. And if someone out there for some reason has watched all of this, if you the last Puppet Master movie that came out was in 2022. If you are a lifelong Puppet Master fan, do you still get excited for a new Puppet Master? If you do, like I want to know why, because I feel like I am no longer excited. Uh, I mean, I'm telling you, if a new Puppet Master movie comes out, I'm gonna watch it, but it's like I'm watching it because I feel I have to. Like I'm watching it under duress. I'm not watching it because I think I'm going to enjoy it. It's just like
Yeah.
I'm a glutton for punishment, especially when puppets are involved, and I have to see what fresh new bullshit has been put out.
Yeah. I have to be a completionist at that point, right?
Mhm.
Because it's like, if I've watched all 538 of these so far. If a new one comes out, I have to watch it because it would feel like there's a hole in my soul if I'm missing that one Puppet Master movie. Okay, well, I think we all agree that this one's kind of trash. There's really nothing more to talk about it. Let's just kind of wrap up this sort of episode with saying our favorites, maybe our top 3 favorite films in the franchise, and then like the bottom 3. So, Steve, we'll start with you. Your top 3 and your worst 3.
My top 3 will probably be Puppet Master 3, the remake, and Puppet Master 2. My bottom 3 are parts 1 and 3 of the Axis trilogy, and then the Blade standalone, which hurts as a Blade fan.
Okay. All right. Borp.
Top 3 would be Puppet Master free, The Littlest Reich, and I'm gonna be wild and throw in Puppet Master versus Demonic Toys because I had such a fun time with that movie. But it's awful. But I mean, that's most of this franchise. But that one was really fun, awful to me. And then bottom 3 would be let's see, Axis Termination, The Blade standalone, and then I think this one.
Cool. My top 3. Number 2 is number 1 for me still. Littlest Reich, the remake, would be there, and I'm gonna go with you, Borp. I'm gonna be right there where we're gonna be brothers holding arms in Puppet Master versus Demonic Toys because it's just so fucking hilariously bad. I had more entertainment value. The two films that gave me the most entertainment value was Puppet Master versus Demonic Toys and The Littlest Reich. Those two, I was like actually like laughing and having a great time pretty much all the way through. So for sheer entertainment value, again, Puppet Master vs. Demonic Toys is trash. I mean, it's not a good movie, but for whatever reason, it just hit me, and I thought I had a great time while watching it. Incidentally, those two movies, Charles Band has nothing to do with either one of them. Littlest Reich and Puppet Master vs. Demonic Toys. So is that something that needs to happen in the future a little bit more? Perhaps.
That was actually going to be my point when Steve said, "What would make someone excited about these films?" If they announce one where Charles Band has nothing to do with it, I think I would be excited.
Oh, that's a good point. That is a really good point. Yeah,
I feel like if with the Littlest Strikes, they got a bunch of people who really like Puppet Master to make a Puppet Master film, and that one came out all right.
Yeah.
So.
Give me Puppet Master versus Blood Dolls, but Charles Band is not allowed to be involved in
it. My bottom 3 obviously would be Puppet Master Legacies. I think is the worst, just for how it was created. I pick and choose. I guess either the second or the third of the Axis stuff. The first one I still have fond memories when Rachel, you and I watched it, Steve. So I can't hate on that. I mean, it's crap.
Well, no,
but
that was part 2 of the Axis trilogy that we had a good time
was that
with.
2?
Yeah, that's why I skipped it. So I said 1 and 3 of the Axis trilogy are the worst.
Okay. Well, I'll go 3. So Legacy 3. God, Curse. You know what? I'm going to throw a curveball out there. I'm going to include 4 and 5 because that's when for me personally, they made the puppets go fully good guy against non-Nazis. Like, it's fine. Puppets can kill the Nazis. That's okay. Everyone's okay with killing a Nazi. But Puppet Master 4 and 5 is when they really became good guys, and it's essentially one movie just chopped in half. So I'm going to kind of cheat and put 4 and 5 is in the bottom of my least favorite as well.
But you had all the cool laser tag scenes. Well,
yeah, cool. What does cool mean in Sweden? Is it different than what it means in America? So, yeah, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for listening to Full Moon Fridays as we've completed our journey. As Steve said, hey, let us know what you think of Puppet Master The Legacy. Put your top 3 favorite and worst of the franchise down in the comments. We'd be interested in seeing what anyone who watches these thinks of their favorites. And next week, Steve, we got you sort of pivoted us to something else. So tee up what we got going on, not next week, in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
On Full Moon Fridays.
We are going to start Trancers. Are we doing the whole Trancers series, or are we just doing like a couple? I don't know. We'll see how it goes. There are apparently like 6.5 of these now, which was news to me. So yeah, Trancers for the next couple of months worth of Full Moon Fridays. We will be here.
Okay,
and
cool.
probably next week it's going to be weird because Matt's probably still going to be watching Puppet Master The Legacy in the background.
Oh, I can turn on Trancers.
Trancers.
That's not a problem. I'll turn on Trancers. On Tubi, everybody. Borp, have you ever heard of Trancers? Had you ever seen Trancers before going into it?
I had heard of Trancers. I thought Trancers was going to be different. I've already seen Trancers.
Okay, can't wait to hear your thoughts. All right, everybody. Thanks for listening. Catch you in 2 weeks.